Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be unboxing Harrowdeep, the new core set for Season 5 of Warhammer Underworlds. Here we go, here's our box. It just arrived this morning, and this is the Harrowdeep box set from Warhammer Underworlds, and I ordered mine from Games Workshop, and this is how it's delivered. And because it came from Games Workshop, I also got to use my £10 off gift voucher, so I saved £10, and I got those acrylic tokens that they were offering too, so you'll see those in this video as well. So in the box they always put in some kind of promotional thing, so for a game or something like that. And the invoice, get rid of this bubble packaging, and then we've got our tokens. And they just come in this little plastic bag this time. So sometimes you get these promotional things in like a box, but here they just come in a bag. So they haven't dressed that up all that well, but the tokens look pretty good from what I've seen online already. So can't wait to open those. And then here's our box set of Harrowdeep. So let's get this out and we'll have a look at it and get it all unpacked. And then we'll go through all the contents, have a look at it up close, and then you can see exactly what's included, and hopefully that'll give you a good idea as to whether or not this is something you'd like to add to your collection. So here we go, we've got our box set and we've got the tokens. I'll undo the box first and we'll go through all the contents, and then we can compare the tokens to these at the end. So let's put those to one side. But here's the box. I'm loving the artwork for Harrowdeep. It's looked really awesome on the articles we've seen so far. So I've really been looking forward to seeing what it looks like inside. But the box art's really great, really nice. On the side, we've just got the image here. And then on the back, it tells us everything we're going to get in the box. So included, we're going to get our 4 Xandire's Truthseeker fighters, 5 De Cunning Crew fighters. We're going to get 114 tokens and a 52-page rulebook, 2 double-sided game boards, 9 fighter cards, 32 Truthseeker cards, 32 De Cunning Crew cards, 48 Universal Power and Objective cards, 36 Grand Alliance Power and Objective cards, and 11 Harrowdeep Warhammer Underworlds dice. So really nice amount going on there. It's for 2 players, recommended 30-minute playing time, and the age they recommend is 12 plus. So there we go. So that's everything we get in the box. So now let's get this open and we can have a look at everything inside. So let's get rid of this shiny packaging. Get that out of the way. And here we go, my favourite part. Get that off. And so first of all, we're welcomed by the board. And this just looks great already. It's in a little packaging. We'll have to get that out. We're also getting our tokens in there too. Then we've got our rule book. And then we're going to have our instructions to build the models as well. And we've got our sprues. Our dice. And all our cards. Loads of cards here. I'll do a little comparison at the end as well, just to see if there's more cards in this box than what we saw in previous editions like Diachasm. So we'll check that out too. So there we go. And then we get this nice little insert just to keep everything tidy inside the box. So that's all our contents. Now let's have a look at it all individually up close. Let's do the boards first. This is the thing I've been looking forward to seeing the most. And it tells us it's printed in China. So there we go. That might explain the costs increasing. And let's get this wrapper off. And so we've got our 2 sheets of tokens and our boards. So yeah, really nice colours. I love this blue colour. We've got the skulls in there, this kind of whirlpool spiralling down into them. Just looks really great. So that's our first side. Then on the back here, we've got what looks like some kind of glowing gem maybe underwater. So that's really nice. That's the first board. Then we've got our second board. We've got another skull theme here in like the rocks or sand. And then finally this one. Really nice colours and textures they've included. So these boards are fantastic. These potentially could be some of my favourite boards for Underworld. So I should do a video where I compare all the boards. That'd be quite cool. But there we go. So we get our 2 boards. Get rid of those now. And then we got our 2 token sheets. So these are going to be pretty much the same, except for here you can see that one's different. So no, these are all different. So these are the numbered ones, of course. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we've got all the other tokens that we're familiar with. But these are really nice. So we'll do a little comparison between these and the acrylic ones at the end of the video as well. So that's our tokens and boards. And then we've got our rule book and instructions. And again, it just tells us that all this is printed in China. So let's have a look. We've got our rule book, and this is going to be, what, 52 pages altogether. And then we've got our little instruction guide to put things together. But these are so easy to build, pretty much push fit, and no problem at all getting the Underworld sets built. Really easy. So not many components, especially for this seagull creature. You only got a few parts there, what, 4 altogether? And one of the great things about Underworlds are the bases are all formed and really fit in with the theme of the warbands too. So that's just one sheet, double-sided print. Then we've got our instruction rulebook, and I'm just going to flick through this just to give you an idea of the contents. So I'm not going to spend too long on this. I'll do a separate video on the rules and how they've changed. And I also did a video recently about the errata and the FAQ updates. So if you want to check that out, that's on the video too. But this will give us our introduction to this new scenario for Season 5. And yeah, the artwork's really great. I'm really looking forward to seeing the whole layout, really. I love the theme. So this is really going to set us into that environment. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, that looks great, doesn't it? Some real depth created there. That's awesome. And there we go. So we're going to learn all about the different warbands that are included and the background narrative for the game and the setting. So that takes us up to page 13. And then we're going to move into the introduction and the rules. I mean, the colours just look fantastic when they're all laid out like this. Really nice. And so before you play, what to do, it gives us a run through of the fighter cards. I've done a how to play Underworld series, so a lot of this is included in that, but there is going to be some changes here, which again, I'll do a separate video on that, just to highlight those changes in the book, comparing it to Diachasm, so we can keep up to date. And so the layout looks very similar though in the sequence and the way they've laid out the rules, but there's certainly going to be some changes. There's some new formats now with the Rivals format, so that's going to be in here somewhere, I imagine. So there we go, all our different actions, power step, modifiers, scatter, reactions. This looks different, very different. End phase and play on. And then we've got multiplayer games. And Rivals, no, I didn't see anything about Rivals included in that. So that's interesting. I guess we're just going to have to use the information that we saw on the Warhammer community site for that then. Let me just double check that in the content section. Does it tell us ways to play? Let's have a look. Nope, so I can't see that in there. I'll have another look through later on. But yeah, we can just take the information from that errata and the FAQ then, which really lay out everything we need to know. But it's pretty simple. You just use the cards that come with each warband. There we go, that's the rule book. So now let's have a look at the card decks. Before we look at the cards, I've just got Diachasm box here and Harrowdeep box. I wanted to do a quick comparison on the cards just to see the amount. Now in the Diachasm set, we got 96 upgrade ploy and objective cards. And so we also got our fighter cards as well. But let's just focus on those upgrade ploy and objective cards. But in here, it looks like we've got 148 cards. So there's a lot more cards in here. What, an extra 52 cards? So we get 52 extra cards in this set than we did in this set. So that really is making a difference. So when they said this is their biggest box yet, I wasn't quite sure why they were saying that or where we'd see it, but it looks like it's in the cards. So we've got those Truth Seeker cards, the Cunning Crew cards, Universal Power and Objective cards, but then the Grand Alliance Power and Objective cards. So this looks like where we're getting some new cards in here that we might not have seen in some of the previous seasons. So they have given us some more cards. So maybe that goes some way to explain why we made that jump right up from 50 to 65 pounds. And now we've got the cards. So let's get these open. And so we've got lots to look through here. It doesn't tell us where these were printed. I'm guessing China. I think all the printing is done in China now. Let's get these out of there. Get rid of that packaging. So we've got our Grand Alliance deck. Let's move that up. Grand Alliance, Zandai's Truth Seekers. We've got the Universal deck and the Cunning Crew deck. So they're all nicely labelled there. So let's have a look at this Grand Alliance deck first. I've been pretty keen to see what this is all about. I'll just flick through and then we'll go into more detail in separate videos on this. But this is really just to have a look at the artwork, which I'm liking straight away. Oh, I didn't look at the back actually. These they've changed. This is a little bit of a difference. They look a lot more like almost playing cards now. So that's a big difference, changing the appearance on the back there. I'd love to know what you think about that. Do you think it's an improvement or not? Do you prefer the older versions, or do you like the look of these? But here we go. Let's have a look through the artwork. I mean, it's always a great aesthetic with Underworlds. I really like it, and it's totally different to like Warcry or Kill Team or any other games we might play. But this is looking really nice. Oh, that's a good one. Reborn in Darkness. And we're bringing in perhaps all the warbands you might recognise from the previous seasons. I wonder if we're going to get any little hints throughout this about some of the new ones we might see. Thorns of the Briar Queen there. Nice. Beasts of Chaos. So these are really nice. Really great look to this. Some nice artwork. And there we go. So that's our first one. So that's the Universal deck. And so this is the Grand Alliance cards deck. And it says here, don't open this until you've played a few games. This pack includes extra objective cards and power cards you can include in decks for warbands from each of the 4 Grand Alliances in Warhammer Underworlds. So I guess here we're going to look for the Grand Alliance rune marks, which are in the top right hand corner. So let's see what ones we've got there. So we should have 4 different ones altogether. So there we go. There's our different rune marks for the Grand Alliances in the top. So this is really a mixed deck that you can pluck cards out of and use for each of the Grand Alliances. And here we've got the Universal cards deck, and it says don't open this until you've played a few games. This pack includes extra objective and power cards that you can use to construct decks for your warband. So there we go. So these are Universal cards now, and these have just got the regular rune marks that we're kind of accustomed to seeing in previous seasons. So these aren't going to be for the Grand Alliances like we saw in the other deck. So let's have a flick through and you can see all the artwork. Again, it's looking stunning. I think they've done a great job here. Looks really nice. Again, the backs, they've changed that. The jury's out on that one. I'll have a look at some of the old cards and maybe we'll compare that too. But I'm certainly liking the look of the artwork they've gone for. The colours just are fantastic. I really like the whole theme as well. It's a really good theme and a good idea. And a nice step away from Beastgrave, which we've seen for the past 2 seasons. So that's really nice too. I'll just go through these quite quick so you can have a look. But some fantastic artwork in here. Really good. I'm liking the style they've gone with as well. Nice. There was like in some of the articles, there's a couple of different artwork styles. And this one I much prefer. So I'm really glad we're seeing this across the cards. But these are really good. Again, we're looking at all those war bands we've seen from the past. And if you see anything that maybe gives us a little clue about what's to come, add that in the comments below. But I'd love to hear what you think so far. But that's our Universal cards deck. Really nice. So that's 2 decks down and we've still got 2 to go. Right, now we've got Xandire's Truth Seekers, and open this when you play your first game. This pack includes fighter cards, a power deck and an objective deck for Xandire's Truth Seekers. So here we are. So this is, if we want to get started, we're going to use this first, nice and easy. And also if we want to play Rivals, this is the deck we're going to use. So we've got our fighter cards. There's our seagull. It's not a seagull, but I keep calling it a seagull because it looks like a seagull. And here we go is our cards as well. Really nice. Yeah, that's really great. Look at that. Blaze of light. Nice. So I was never a fan of the Stormcast Eternals until I saw the Vanguard Raptors with that long strike crossbow, which is just an amazing fight. And then once I saw that, and I really started getting into it, and also the Mortal Realms magazine really introduced me to a lot of it. And I'm going for a black theme with my Stormcast Eternals. I don't really like the gold so much. I wanted something a little bit different. So I've gone with black. And so I'll be painting these so I can use them in Warcry within the army that I'm making for Age of Sigmar with the Stormcast. So these will all be black as well. And I'll paint them pretty much with dry brushing. That's a really great image. Nice. There's some real depth they've captured in this artwork to it. and really setting the scene for how vast the environment is. So I'm really loving it so far. So there we go. There's our deck for Zandire's Truth Seekers. And again, on the back, we've got this kind of mustardy yellow and blue look to the back of the deck. And next up, we've got the Cunning Crew Warband deck. Again, this is what we're going to play when we first start, all with rivals. And so we should get 5 fighter cards now here. We've got Gikit, Grutkin, Manok, Shank, and Tough Skull. So a real interesting bunch there. And let's have a look at the artwork now. So yeah, this is great. Easy Meat, that's a good one. That sneaky dude coming up the back. Firebomb. Yeah, I'm really glad they went with this style. Really nice. It really looks good. Merc Lurkers. That could be a favourite card just for the name, I think. Yeah, looking really good. And so again, same with these. I'm going to paint these up so they fit in with my Morkrow. He could be a favourite of mine with the channel logo. That's going to fit in really nice. But these are going to go in with my, what are they called? Kruleboyz. Kruleboyz Warband for Age of Sigmar and Warcry. So I'll be painting them the same. I've pretty much gone with the style that we saw with the Dominion artwork. So I'll continue that with these guys. I might give them a little bit more of a nautical look, maybe. Maybe just follow the box art on these. We'll wait and see. But there we go. I'm liking this crow that keeps popping up. Really cool. And there we go. You can see how big that guy is compared. Looks like he's got a sword through his head, though. That can't be good. But there we go. So there's our cards. And again, they're going to be the same on the back. And that's the Cunning Crew. Next, we've got the dice. Again, these are made in China here. So I think it's just the models then in the UK from everything we've seen so far. It didn't tell us where the cards were made, but I'm just assuming it was China. Let's get this out. So here we go. So we've got 3, 3, and 5. So we've got 11 dice all together there. Some nice colours. This kind of burgundy. Is this like a Royal Navy blue, it looks like almost? And then this off-white, almost grey colour. So really nice. All the logos and symbols that we're familiar with now with Warhammer Underworlds. So decent dice set. I think it's nice to use the ones that come in the box actually because they're very clear. Some of the ones you can buy for the game are a little bit like the pattern almost interferes with the symbols a little bit. But I like the dice that come in the box with these. They don't feel that cheap size-wise. Let's grab the ruler. They're going to be 40mm dice, so they're not the really small ones you get. And so let's give them a roll. The first roll. Nice. Do all these two. Awesome. So really nice dice, and I think they certainly hold up. You don't need to buy any of the extra ones unless you like the look of them. Some of them look pretty cool, but I think these are much clearer when you play. Next, we've got our 2 sprues. So let's have a look at Zandire's Truth Seeker first. And so let's get that under there and focused in a little bit so you can have a good look at the details. So it's the bases I always like with Warhammer Underworlds. I think they do a great job theming it. And these look pretty good actually. These are going to come up really nice with a bit of dry brushing. I think they're going to be fantastic. Trying to get it so you can have a good look. There's the bird there. So we're seeing some of the texture. Nice. Again, lots of dry brushing. So these I'm going to be painting black with a lot of dry brushing. So you'll be able to see those videos coming up really soon. So there's our first one. Now let's have a look at the green. This might be a bit easier. And there's some really nice patterns involved there. Nice. Yeah, these guys just suit that swampy theme being Kruleboyz. So it makes sense that they fit in with this underwater, almost seaweed, kind of gunky, slimy look too. So they're definitely going to fit in. A lot of detail on these. They look really good. And I'll be painting these with contrast paints. Tabletop ready standard. Getting them ready quite quick. But with some nice effects. So look out for those videos coming soon too. So there we are. There's both our sprues for Zandire's Truth Seekers and the Cunning Crew. Next we've got the tokens. And it doesn't tell us exactly where they were made. Can't find anything on there that says exactly where they're made. But it looks like it could be made in Dublin, maybe. But let's open these up and have a look. So here we go. So these were included as like a limited edition if you got the order in. They might still be available, actually. But here we go. So, oh, they're going to be a bit stuck together. Pretty chunky, actually. Chunkier than I thought. Look really nice on that side, don't they? Look great. Let's get these unstuck and we'll lay them all out so you can see them all. So what we got here altogether, 11 is it? So that's 9, 10, 11. So these two, the same on each side. So I'm guessing these are going to be our numbered ones. And they are. So let's flip these over. Okay, so there we go. That's the other side. And yeah, they match up with the actual tokens that come in, which makes sense. So there's number 2 next to number 2. And you can see it's the same. They're also not that reflective. So I've got some strong lights on this. And they're not really distracting from it. I think it's a bit see-through though. I saw on an article somewhere, I can't remember where I read it, but you can see the number through it. It's hard to pick that up on the video here, but you can actually see the number when it's laid down if the light's on it. So yeah, very hard to see there. It's definitely not picking it up on the video, but I can just about see through. So you have to be careful about that for sure. Maybe instead of like moving them around like this, you could put them in a bag and just draw one out perhaps. I'm not sure. I'll have to take a look. But they look really good. And let's compare the thickness. I'll pop this one out. So it's a lot thicker, obviously like twice as thick. Should we measure it? Why not? Let's get the ruler. Yeah, we're looking at about, what, 3 millimeters? Or 32 there. So yeah, so pretty thick, pretty nice. I'm glad I got them. I think it's great. I was able to use that discount voucher as well. Yeah, you can see the reflection there. Not too bad. So yeah, they're really nice. Nice little tokens, great colour theme. I think these are going to fit in with other games too, these two. I can use those for objective markers with my own game, Weekend Warriors. So they'll come in nicely in handy. And then we got these as a backup if we want to use them. So yeah, really happy with those tokens and glad I went for that option. Right, before we finish up, let's compare the backs of the cards. So here's the new ones from the Harrowdeep season. And then I've got some here from the Diachasm box set. And you can see they're very different indeed. So, I mean, that's like stunning. That looks awesome. These make it look more like playing cards to me. So I think I prefer these for sure. There's nothing wrong with those. You know, there's nothing wrong there. Nothing. There's nothing wrong with those. But I mean, this is like really nice. It looks really cool. This makes it more of a kind of card game. So you're going to get a different vibe, I think, definitely. If you're looking at the back as well, the back of them, you know, you're going to get a different feel too. But yeah, I'm not sure why they had to change them really. I think there's nothing wrong with those. I don't know if that improves it for sure. Just gives it a totally different feel. But if you're interested in these card protectors, really worth it if you play a lot to look after your cards. And I got these Dragon Shield ones, and I think they're brilliant. I also use them for Warcry. These were really cheap. I've done a video on these that you can check out on the channel if you want to find out more about them. These are just a standard size classic. Let me get you the actual measurements. Yeah, so if you want to get these, they're 88 by 63 mil or 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And you're going to get 75 plus cards, including the sleeves, in the box as well. So it comes with 100 sleeves, but you can fit 75 back in there. And what I've done is I just bought some of these really cheap, like a couple of £1 each, and they're really nice. So I can keep like one warband's worth of cards in there nicely, and it's all in one place. So there's two options there. Get the Dragon Shield Clear Classics, and then get this Deck Box Ultra Pro box here to keep your cards in as well, and that keeps them all nice and safe. So there we go. That's everything that comes in the Warhammer Underworlds Harrowdeep box. And I'm going to really get these miniatures built as fast as I can, get them painted up. I'll do some painting videos, one for each warband on the channel too. So I'll do that really soon. Overall, I'm really happy. I think the amount of cards you get is fantastic. There's quite a lot going on there. The artwork's really good. And I think, for me, that justifies paying a little bit extra. I mean, if you did get them at Element Games or one of the discount stores, you're going to get them for like £52. And I've even seen this set being offered for £45 in a local shop, which was crazy. I don't think they're going to make any money on that, or hardly anything. But I think if you look around, you still can get it for a good price. These acrylic tokens I'm really pleased with. I'm glad I kind of went for that. option and pick those up, really nice. But I think if you just went for the set, £65 might be a little bit too much, but you can get a discount if you're lucky enough to have an online retailer that you can use, or a local store. My local store would do 10% off this anyway, so you're always going to save on that RRP. And for the extra cards, the quality of everything is really great. I think it's worth it. For me, I'm really happy. And if you were just playing this as a hobby, you didn't want to collect, you just wanted to play the game, you've got everything you need in here for 2 warbands. You could split it with a friend, take a warband each, take 1 deck of cards and then share the rest. You could do that, or just keep it for yourself and have 2 warbands and everything you need to play. You don't have to spend any more money. So that's another way to think of it too. But if you do like collecting, I think this price increase is definitely going to come across onto the new warbands that come out and the new set that they're going to bring out this season as well. But if it's as good as this, then I'll happily pay for it. I'll put a link to the game in the description below, and that'll be a link to Element Games where you can get it for just over £50, at £52 I believe at the moment, and that'll be an affiliate link, but it won't cost you anything extra. You'll save that money, and I'll also get a commission from any sales made, so that helps support the channel and keeps me making these daily videos. So thanks so much for that support. If you choose to purchase through that link, I really appreciate it. I'd love to know what you think about this set and everything you've seen so far in the video. So let me know in the comment sections below about what your favourite bits are, what you like, what you don't like, and if you're picking this up, what are you looking forward to getting hold of the most? So yeah, I'd love to know what you think, and I always love reading the comments. So please join in the comment section below. That'd be awesome. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, and thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out, and you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description, and it'd be great to see you there.